Hello everybody and welcome to my video. Today I will be reviewing the first Thor from 2011. It's been a while since I've reviewed a Marvel movie, and Thor has been why. I kept putting off watching it because I have watched it before. I watched it like a year ago and I hated it. It was my least favorite Marvel movie. But finally I decided to give it another chance, and after doing that, though, I surprised myself, and I didn't hate it nearly as much as when I first saw it. And I honestly think this movie received too much criticism. This movie had some great things in it. Even though Loki is a villain in this, actually he's more of an anti-hero, he's just so lovable. It's hard not to root for him. I don't like Thor that much in this movie, but Loki steals the show quite often, and he almost makes up for me disliking Thor. I just don't like Thor that much. He's not likable in my opinion. He's just kinda boring, honestly. He's interesting at some times, but he's just a traditional jock. Even though he's from Asgard, a whole nother realm, it's just kind of how he is. And he's still good. I think he develops so much later on. But at the starting point of his character, I don't think he's that likable. But he gets better, which I think is awesome. I'm a big fan of Norse mythology, and Greek mythology too, but especially Norse mythology, which is in this movie, so I love how this includes a lot of references to that mythology, and I think it's really one of the best things about this movie, because it's like, I just recognize it, and I like that. Maybe it won't be the same for some of you guys, but for me, it's just an interesting thing. For learning about society on Earth was funny, even if there wasn't much of a focus on it. I kinda wish a movie spent more time on Ford adjusting to our society, but it's fine that they didn't. It just would have been cool. Because this movie has only a 2-hour runtime. If it was much longer, I don't think it would have been that interesting. It would have been even more boring, because this movie was kinda boring, but there were a few things that was switched out for more interesting things, like learning how to do stuff on Earth. I think that's a really good story arc. Even though it's not really a Marvel story arc. I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Agent Coulson is in 4, which I love. Coulson is one of my favorite characters ever in the MCU, and like I've said on this channel before, I'm a huge Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fan. Lady Sif, who is also in this movie, is in a few episodes of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. too. Basically, I like how a lot of this movie ties into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Admittedly, I think this is somewhat unfair criticism, but 4-1 stands no chance against 4 Ragnarok. This is a retrospective critique, and I think it's good that the 4 franchise got better, but this first one is just so bad compared to Ragnarok. 4's friends are just kinda there, and besides Lady Sif, I liked her because she was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I don't really like any of them. That one dude has a really nice beard though, if any of you guys know who I'm talking about. I wish the movie spent more time on Forrest's friends to maybe build them up, make them more likable. That would have been cool, but they didn't do that, so I just didn't care about them, and that was just how it went. I like the final fight in this movie between Loki and Thor, but the second to last one with a big destroyer thing is pretty boring. Again, this is comparing the original Thor to Ragnarok, but the destroyer fight would have been so much better with good music. I think that criticism could actually go for almost every action scene in this movie. They're kind of boring without some good music, because you don't need music to make a good fight scene, but at the start, it's just kind of boring. I think there is a song, it's just not that memorable. Like, Immigrant Song was in Thor Ragnarok, it's a song that I really liked, and that really made that movie a great thing for me. I think that was one of the best parts, and this movie doesn't have a moment like that. Everyone criticizes this about this movie, so I'm not gonna say anything new here. Everyone said this before, but I hate how Shakespearean this is. I'm glad they dropped that pretty much entirely in Thor Ragnarok, but in here it's just painful to watch. I don't like it. I also don't like the colors in Jotunheim. I think that's a dark world, so it's kind of a point for it to be dark. Correct me if I'm wrong if it's the dark world or not. But it just really bothers me, and it makes it difficult to see fight scenes that are already kind of bad to a CGI. The CGI in this is really, really bad, at least compared to today's standards. I think in 2011, when this movie was made, it was fine, but now it's not that good. This movie just has not aged well because the frost giants, just as an example, they look weird, especially when they do a close-up of their faces. They look weird, and I don't like that. And also Asgard, you can tell it's animated. It almost looks like a painting, which isn't always a bad thing. It kind of looks like the Wizard of Oz when they go to the city. So I guess it's not always a bad thing, but in here, it's not a good thing, in my opinion. Anyways, I didn't think Thor was necessarily a good movie, but it wasn't bad either. I feel like people hate on this because other Marvel movies are so good, and they hold movies from this franchise to such a high caliber, which is completely fair. A lot of Marvel movies are really good. They have a really good, average, high quality. And I agree with the people who say 4 isn't as good as ever Marvel movies. I don't think it's that good, but I don't think it's bad. When you don't compare this movie to incredible ones, it's good. It has some great things about it. You have to look past some bad things, and if you're able to do that, you can enjoy this movie. I rate 4 a 7 out of 10. So, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, because it would really mean a lot. Make sure to tell me if there are any movies or shows you'd like to see me review next, and I will see you in the next video.